Gang activity and organized crime within prisons. In the shadows of incarceration, a dark underworld thrives. Gang activity and organized crime within prisons present a stark reality. Witness the formation of powerful gangs, their control over contraband, and the violence that defines their existence. But in the battle against this menace, prison authorities are adapting, using intelligence, technology, and rehabilitation to disrupt these criminal networks. Join us as we explore the hidden world of prison gangs and the efforts to break the cycle of crime and violence. What is prison gang? A prison gang is a group of inmates who have formed an organized criminal network within a correctional facility. Prison gangs operate within the prison system and engage in various criminal activities, exerting control and influence over other inmates. These gangs typically have a hierarchical structure with leaders, lieutenants, and foot soldiers. They often align along racial, ethnic, or geographic lines and use symbols, tattoos, and specific language to identify themselves. Prison gangs engage in activities such as drug trafficking, smuggling contraband, extortion, violence, and other forms of organized crime both within and outside of prison walls. Prison gangs history. Prison gangs emerged in the early 20th century, influenced by factors like the growth of the prison system and racial tensions. The Mexican Mafia, La M, and black prison gangs like the Black Guerrilla family became prominent in California during the 1950s and 1960s. The Aryan Brotherhood formed as a white supremacist gang. These gangs engaged in criminal activities like drug trafficking and violence. Over time, gangs expanded their influence, forming alliances and spreading internationally. Today, prison gangs remain a significant challenge for correctional authorities worldwide. Prison gang activity. Gang activity and organized crime within prisons is a complex and multifaceted issue. Prisons often serve as a breeding ground for gang-related activities due to the concentrated population of individuals with criminal backgrounds, limited supervision, and the need for protection and resources. Here is a comprehensive overview of gang activity and organized crime within prisons. Formation of prison gangs. Prison gangs form in correctional facilities as a means of protection, social organization, and power. Inmates join gangs based on shared racial, ethnic, or geographical backgrounds. Gangs offer a sense of belonging and camaraderie within the harsh prison environment. They establish hierarchical structures with leaders, lieutenants, and foot soldiers. Gang members often display tattoos, hand signs, or specific language to identify themselves. The formation of prison gangs provides a support system and a means to navigate the challenges and dangers of prison life. However, it also leads to the perpetuation of criminal activities, violence, and control within the prison system. Control and influence. Prison gangs exert control and influence within correctional facilities through various means. They establish dominance over the inmate population by instilling fear, using violence, and enforcing their rules. Gangs control illicit activities such as drug trafficking, contraband trade, and extortion, providing them with financial power and resources. They may dictate inmate behavior, including enforcing codes of conduct and loyalty within their ranks. Gangs also influence the social dynamics of the prison, often segregating inmates along gang lines and determining who has access to certain privileges or resources. Their control and influence contribute to the perpetuation of a dangerous and hierarchical environment within prisons. Drug trafficking. Drug trafficking is a prevalent form of criminal activity within prisons orchestrated by prison gangs. These gangs play a significant role in the smuggling, distribution, and sale of illicit drugs behind bars. Inmates involved in drug trafficking networks work in coordination with their counterparts on the outside or utilize various methods to bring drugs into the prison environment. Gangs exploit vulnerabilities within the prison system, utilizing ingenious concealment techniques to smuggle drugs past security measures. Common methods include hiding drugs in body cavities, concealing them within legal correspondence or personal belongings, or even corrupting staff members to facilitate the entry of drugs. Once inside, the drugs are distributed among inmates, often leading to addiction, violence, and further criminal behavior. Gangs control the drug trade within prisons, monopolizing the supply and dictating prices. The profits generated from drug trafficking provide gangs with financial power and resources, enabling them to exert control and influence over the inmate population. Efforts to combat drug trafficking within prisons involve enhanced security measures, intelligence gathering, and the implementation of drug detection technologies. Rehabilitation programs aimed at addressing substance abuse and providing alternatives to drug use are also crucial in addressing the root causes of drug-related crimes within correctional facilities. Contraband trade. Contraband trade is a thriving illicit economy within prisons, often facilitated by prison gangs. Gang members engage in the smuggling and trading of prohibited items to maintain control and generate income. Contraband goods include weapons, cell phones, SIM cards, drugs, tobacco, alcohol, pornography, and other forbidden items. Gangs employ creative methods to bring contraband into prisons, such as exploiting vulnerabilities in security protocols or corrupting staff members. Once inside, these items are traded or sold among inmates, contributing to the underground economy. The trade of contraband not only poses security risks but also fuels gang power and reinforces their influence over the inmate population. Efforts to combat contraband trade involve increased surveillance, intelligence gathering, and stricter enforcement of security measures. Extortion and protection racket. Extortion and protection rackets are common tactics employed by prison gangs to exert control and generate income within correctional facilities. Gang members target vulnerable inmates and demand payments, favors, or other forms of compensation in exchange for protection from harm or other privileges. Those who refuse to comply may face threats, violence, or harassment. Extortion can also extend beyond individual inmates to include their families outside of prison walls. Gangs use fear and intimidation to ensure compliance and maintain their power dynamics within the prison environment. Extorted funds or favors provide gangs with financial resources, which they can use to further their criminal activities or solidify their influence. Correctional authorities employ measures such as increased surveillance, confidential reporting systems, and efforts to disrupt gang networks to counter extortion and protect vulnerable inmates from these exploitative practices. Violence and intimidation. Violence and intimidation are key tools used by prison gangs to establish dominance and maintain control within correctional facilities. Gangs engage in physical confrontations, fights, assaults, and even murders to enforce their rules, assert their authority, and retaliate against rival gangs or non-compliant inmates. The fear of violence and reprisal often leads to compliance among other inmates, creating an environment of intimidation and coercion. Gang members display their willingness to use force as a means of maintaining their power and influence. Correctional authorities employ strategies such as increased staff presence, security measures, and intelligence gathering to minimize violence and ensure the safety of both inmates and staff. Gang recruitment and membership. Gang recruitment and membership play a vital role in the perpetuation of prison gangs. Gangs actively recruit new members from the inmate population, targeting vulnerable individuals seeking protection, a sense of belonging, or social support. They use various tactics including intimidation, manipulation, and offering perceived benefits within the prison environment. Once recruited, members are expected to adhere to the gang's rules and participate in criminal activities. Gang membership provides a sense of identity and belonging within the harsh prison environment, while also strengthening the gang's power and influence. Rehabilitation programs and targeted interventions aim to disrupt gang recruitment, provide alternatives, and address the underlying factors that contribute to individuals joining gangs. Gang warfare and rivalries. Gang warfare and rivalries are prevalent within prisons, often based on racial, ethnic, or geographical lines. Intergang conflicts erupt as gangs vie for power, control, and dominance within the inmate population. Rivalries can lead to violent clashes, group fights, and targeted attacks. Gangs engage in these confrontations to protect their reputation, territory, and criminal enterprises. These conflicts escalate tensions and contribute to a volatile and dangerous prison environment. Correctional authorities employ strategies such as segregation, intelligence gathering, and strict security protocols to mitigate gang warfare and minimize the risk of violence. Rehabilitation programs addressing conflict resolution and mediation can also play a role in reducing intergang rivalries, money laundering, and financial crimes. Some prison gangs engage in money laundering and other financial crimes within correctional facilities. They use their criminal networks and connections to facilitate illegal financial activities. This can involve manipulating funds, engaging in fraudulent schemes, or exploiting opportunities within the prison system. Gang members may establish illegal businesses or control illicit financial transactions. Money laundering allows them to conceal the origins of their illicit proceeds, making it difficult for law enforcement to trace and confiscate their assets. Efforts to combat money laundering and financial crimes within prisons involve enhanced financial monitoring, intelligence gathering, and collaboration between correctional authorities and law enforcement agencies. These are just some of the major forms of gang activity and organized crimes that occur within prisons. Thank you for joining us on this eye-opening journey into the world of gang activity and organized crime within prisons. We hope this video has provided valuable insights into the complex dynamics and challenges faced by correctional authorities. If you found this content informative, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking videos. Together, let's continue to explore and raise awareness about important issues impacting our society.